Hey guys, welcome back to Aura Life. Today we're gonna talk about the new hot content that Peloton has dropped. That's right, we finally have Bike Bootcamp. So let's dive right into my thoughts and some tips and tricks on how you can enjoy this workout. Welcome back. As you can see, we're in a different setup. I thought that I would do this in the space that I typically work out with all of my equipment so I could walk you through this new exciting development for Peloton. They have released Bike Bootcamps finally. Today I wanted to walk you through this new type of workout, what it's great for, what I like about it, what I feel might be a little bit cumbersome, and some great workarounds for that, and some tips and tricks at the end. So make sure that you stay tuned. But before you do that, if you like my Peloton content, make sure you click that subscribe button and make sure that you follow me on Instagram for all the new Peloton community updates. So if you're new here, hi, welcome. I'm Ashleigh, let's be friends. And I'm a rave mom and mom in real life, and I create content all around self-care, my bucket list adventures, raves and festivals, and I am a Peloton stan, obviously, and you can see that Peloton is a big part of my channel. And one of the things that the community has always been asking for is Peloton Bike Bootcamp. So if you're not familiar with how the app works and all the different types of content that Peloton has, make sure that you check out my ultimate guide to the app. In that video, I walk you through all of the awesome types of content that Peloton has to offer in the app and on the bike and on the tread, all of the great goodies that you can get into. But I have to say, since COVID has hit, they are stepping up their game. Round of applause for Peloton, because they have really developed a lot of new workout content for us. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm so grateful for it, because I am missing that group interaction a little bit that I would normally get at the yoga studio. But I feel like they are really filling in the voids and the gaps, and they're giving you that experience and giving you a variety of different things that you can enjoy, so you can kind of taste here and there what you might like out of your workout routine. So a little bit of history about Peloton Bootcamp. So traditionally with Peloton, they had a bootcamp section of the app where you would do work on the tread, and then you would move into some strength work. So you kind of get the best of both worlds. If you've ever done boot camp before in the real world, it's basically the same thing, but there is a treadmill involved. When I did boot camp at my local gym before I moved out to the burbs, you know, there would be cardio sections in between, and then you would pick up some weights, and then you would do it all over again. So this is very, very similar to that, but there is a tread involved. Think of it kind of like Orange Theory in that sense, where there's gonna be on and off moments. Now, a lot of the original boot camps kind of broke up the boot camp in half. So typically there would be 45 minutes to 60 minutes long. And so for the first maybe 30 minutes, you would be doing cardio, HIIT, doing intervals, and then you would get off the bike or get off the tread, and then you would do 30 minutes of strength. Then they started to switch it up a bit, and they started to kind of do interim. So they would do 10 minutes of cardio, 10 minutes off, and vice versa, and kind of mixing it in. Now with the first type, which I mentioned, where it was kind of broken up into halves, it made it really easy for those of us at home who did not have access to a treadmill, who wanted to kind of hack this type of workout. So what we would do was we would just do our intervals on the bike, kind of gauge the feel that the instructor was giving, even though they were running on a tread, and then we'd hack it and get off and then do our strength workout. Well, when they started to change the format, it made it a little bit harder to do that for a few reasons. Number one, that's a lot of back and forth, often on the bike. With a treadmill, it's easier to jump right on and off, turn it on and off. With the bike, there's a lot more involved, such as having to change your shoes, having to take yourself to another area so that you have space to work out and do the lifting, and then having to go back and forth between that. It just became a headache. If you look at some of my past vlogs, I did attempt to do these boot camps, and don't get me wrong, the workouts are great, and I have to say, whenever I do a boot camp, calorie burn is through the roof. Like Peloton, I feel like they strike a great balance of building your strength but keeping your heart rate super escalated. But it was kind of cumbersome, and I felt flustered trying to go back and forth, change, move things around, move my setup around. It just was really hectic. So I personally ended up moving towards a different format where I would take a spin class, maybe like 15-20 minutes, and then I would move on to strength, and then I would still kind of get that, you know, elevated heart rate if I went right into strength. However, they listened to the people and they introduced the past, I believe, week, the bike boot camps. We have been asking for this for a long time, and they finally served it for us. And get this, we have Just Sims on the bike. Now, if you guys have watched my vlogs, you know that I love Just Sims so much. She's such a positive energy. I feel like I get the most effective strength workouts from her, and I also feel like, I don't know, I just feel more motivated with her specifically. Her, Chase, you know, are some of my favorite people to work out and lift with. So I was stoked so much that she is finally coming onto the bike, and I wanted to see if she still brought that positive energy that she brings to her tread workouts and that she brings to her strength workouts, and I was not disappointed. And also, the other two instructors that they brought on for these boot camps right now are Robin and Cody. Cody, we love him. He's fun, he's flirty, you're always gonna have a good laugh with him. And Robin, I mean, she's a beast. So you know that her intervals on the bike are gonna kill you, and she's gonna pair that with the strength. So any of the instructors, I say give them a try. I recommend them. Now, here are my thoughts on boot camps and what I think so far. So far, gold star. I'm so excited. I love the workouts. It's exactly what I would have pictured for the boot camps. I don't feel flustered. I feel amazing throughout the workout, and it is a hard workout. Like, I feel like I'm pushing myself to the brink. To be honest with you, I was a little bit worried that maybe because it's broken up the way it is on the bike that I wouldn't get a very good calorie burn. For some reason, I feel like if I run on the tread, I get a better calorie burn in terms of my cardio. But guys, like, I reached I think one of the highest calorie burns in a workout this past week with the 45-minute boot camp. I reached 501 calories in 45 minutes. So I feel good about that. I feel awesome about that. In terms of things that I don't like so much, honestly, it's not necessarily something that I dislike. It's just that I'm looking forward to, in the future, longer duration boot camps. So far they have 8 workouts out, and none of them are live at the moment. So that's another thing that I can't wait to have, that live energy. But they're kind of testing out this content, making sure that it's something that people want, and then they're gonna start to build it into the live schedule. But most of the workouts that they have on there now are 30-minute format, and then they have a few 45-minute format. Me personally, I feel like boot camps are the best longer duration, 45 minutes to 60 minutes. I can't wait till they get to the 60 minutes, because then you're really gonna feel like you get an all-in-one, all-encompassing workout, and I may not have to supplement with another strength workout or feel like I need to do another workout later in the day. So I just feel like it would be one-stop shop, I'll be done. So I'm really excited for longer duration, for sure, and I'm really excited for live. So those would be my critiques right now. But in terms of things that I do like, I love the pacing. So I feel like the format of the workout in between each section works really well. You get enough cardio to really get your heart rate up, and then you come off the bike and you get enough time to get your strength in, so then you're really pushing yourself enough to get that, you know, workout, that burn in before you have to go back to cardio. So I feel like the blocks are evenly spaced out. I feel like the transition from bike to mat is seamless. Every instructor kind of has their little pun or their little joke where they get off the bike, you go to the shoe store, or you know, you go to your kind of zone where you're gonna change, and there's like that turnover period, and then you go to the mat. And they do a really good job of keeping you calm and focused on the next part of the workout, so that you're not flustered and you worry that you're gonna miss something. And I think the last thing is the instructors do a really good job of compartmentalizing each of those sections, so you really focus on giving the maximum burn within that time period, so that you're really putting in all of your effort, you're kind of emptying the gas tank for that section, and then you're ready to move on to the next section. And they do a great job of explaining all of the exercises to you, so I do think that whether you're beginner level lifting, whether you're advanced, like there's something in there for you, and they give you great modifications if you do want to go up in weight, or if you want to make it harder throughout the duration. So those are my pros and cons for this workout. So what are my tips? So tip number 1, make sure that before you press play on that workout, you check in the description the weights that they want you to use for that workout. So are you gonna need heavy, medium, light weights? And then make sure that you set your weights up by your mat near your bike, so that they're ready to go. You don't have to worry about pulling them out during the duration of the workout. This way you're setting up that zone for the weightlifting section of the workout. Tip number 2, you're gonna wanna create a second zone. I call this the in-between, an area where you have the chance to sit down, take your shoes off, and you know, make that transition in between the bike. This way you're gonna be calm, cool, and collected. You're gonna be focused. You're not gonna feel rushed. For me, luckily, my setup is in my guest bedroom. So I just take a seat, pop a squat on my bed. As you can see, I have redone my Peloton space, and I will share with you guys soon a video around that, but I have my shoe hooks that I can put my shoes on, and then move on to the mat for the next duration. Now, really quick, you're also gonna want either another pair of gym shoes on standby, or you can work out barefoot. Now, I personally like to work out barefoot. Me, when I lift, one of the suggestions that Just Sims makes is that in order for you to optimally have the right placement and strength, you need to have flat-footed shoes, or you can lift barefoot, and that way your toes and your entire foot can be grounded in the floor, and you won't have improper alignment. Personally prefer to just lift without any shoes on, and it actually makes the transition from floor back to the bike easier personally for me. This is not what you have to do, but this is just my personal preference. Either way, make sure that you have a flat foot when you're lifting, so that you don't injure yourself, and so that you don't create bad alignment, because that will be dependent on the results that you get. Also, make sure that you have enough space to lift that you could put like a standard mat down. Here in the bedroom, I will say it's more limited than where I typically work out, which is my other bedroom. So I do have to be a little bit more creative in my space, but there's plenty of room for me to lift. So you're gonna wanna make sure that you have enough space to lift in so that you can move around freely, but that you're also able to see your screen. And that leads me into the next tip. Make sure that you have the ability to easily see the instructors. Now for me, I like to cast to the TV for that reason. I have an Apple TV that I use, and I cast to the TV from my phone, and that way I can just swivel my TV back and forth, and it's an easy transition to the floor. And either way, I'm able to see the instructor, whether I'm on the bike or if I am on the floor. So I prefer to cast a TV, and I think even if you have a Peloton bike, it might be smart for you to cast to a TV. That way you don't have to worry about swiveling your bike screen or messing around with that. Now the new bike, the Bike Plus, will have a screen that you can swivel, but for most people who currently already own a Peloton and they're not gonna trade up, I just think that casting to your TV is gonna be the best bet for you. Next tip is to start out slow. So just so that you can get a feel for this format, because it is different than some of the other boot camps, and it might be different than even your experience lifting. I would start with the body weight workouts. I think I started with the Just Sims 30-minute boot camp. I think it was like the body weights, one of the first 4 that they posted, and that really gave me a sense for pacing. It gave me a sense of how is this workout gonna work, and then from there I kind of upped it a notch, and that's when I started to add weights. So it's completely up to you, but I think that just so you can get a feel for Peloton in general and the boot camps, it might be a smart bet just to start with a body weight and then work your way up and build from there. And my last tip is that you need to pace yourself. It's really important to pace yourself while you're doing these boot camp workouts, because you will be, going off the bike, on the bike, lifting, getting on the bike. And I think the goal really to start out is not to overly push yourself too much. Make sure that you're leaving enough energy in the tank so that you can finish the workout fully. So, breathing, checking in on yourself, making sure that you have your water bottle handy, making sure that you have a towel handy because you're gonna get sweaty, making sure that you just have an even pace throughout the workout, so not overdoing it, maybe even in the first sprints, enough that you're pushing yourself but you're not overdoing it. Once you kind of have one of these under your belt, then you can get a sense on the areas within the workout where you can really push yourself and really take it up a notch. And I think even once you get towards that final section of workouts, the tail end of the strength, and then into the final circuit of cardio, that's when I go full throttle, and I'm going full speed ahead. I'm gonna empty the gas tank. So those are my thoughts and my tips. I hope you enjoyed this video. Have any of you guys tried the bike boot camps? I'm really interested to hear from you guys. Me personally, I feel like this is gonna be the new favorite. I feel like a couple times a week, if not more, the bikes are gonna be the bread and butter of my workouts, because I really feel like I get the value of having that elevated heart rate from cardio and then adding strength to that to build muscle and really burn fat. So I'm excited to see where my results go from there with this. But I want to hear you sound off below. Let me know your thoughts on this new format and what you think of it, the pros and cons, and if you have any tips. And if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Again, make sure you click that subscribe button for more Peloton content from me, and make sure you click that little bell to get notified when a new Peloton video posts. I love you guys so much, and as I always say, positive self, positive wealth. Bye guys!